Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tyler and I just do consistent content, all things related to hockey and the NHL overall. And boy oh boy, is this 2020 NHL draft class going to be something. The draft is just a couple months away, as we know, but the question still lies. Who should be drafted second overall by the LA Kings, and who is the better overall player between the winner/centerman from Dell and Tim Stutzle, and of course the centerman from the Sudbury Wolves of the OHL and Quinton Byfield. Stay tuned, that's what we'll be discussing today, comparing these players, seeing who's better at what and who ultimately deserves to go second overall to the LA Kings.
Die Adler Mannheim und die Ice Tigers gefährlich, wenn sie in Konter kommen. Das ließ hier Stutzle aber gar nicht erst zu. Wunderbar herausgespielt vom Riesentalent. Legt er.
Did he outdo himself? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be on a highlight reel for sure. Look at that.
Yeah, as you can see, both of these players deal with an amazing set of skills, hands, speed, vision, shot, you name it, they have it. And that is what makes this debate so much more difficult. It really isn't clear cut for either side. And while Byfield did look like the heavy favorite to go second overall in this draft over the past year plus, what's happened over the past year when it comes to Tim Stutzle has been remarkable. Really was a no-name type player until his first year this year in the Dell League, the German men's league, and he was phenomenal. So that's what I'll be discussing with you today. His play, Byfield's play, how they compare with one another, and really who should be going second, I mean. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you end up enjoying this kind of hockey content. Thank you all so much for everyone that's been following me and subscribed thus far. It means so much to me. Trust me, this is only the beginning, guys, and help us reach 1K, because once I do that, I can start doing live streams on commentary for games, playoff games, things leading up to the draft, my thoughts on just random hockey things, and the draft itself possibly if we reach there by time. So make sure you hit that button, but without further ado, let's get right into this video. Starting off with Stutzle, as I mentioned, he really went under the radar for so many scouts, but over the past year, he skyrocketed in prospect rankings and speculation where he may go in the draft, given how well he played in his first year in a men's league like Dell in Germany. In 41 games played for the Mannheim Eagles, he had 7 goals and 34 assists, and a penalty minutes of 12 right there, and I have the plus minus cut off, but that doesn't really matter. But overall, Stutzle, who is around 6'1", 200 pounds, is such a well-balanced centerman, one of the most highly skilled and coveted players in this year's draft because of the pure talent he has, which could really separate him from the rest. He reminds me a lot of Lucas Raymond, as those are two players I think have some of the most impactful skill coming out of this draft class for sure, and still have plenty to prove at the NHL type level, in which I believe they will be doing so. But Stutzle was remarkable in Dell this year, even led the has a record now in Dell as an 18-year-old for the most points per game as an 18-year-old with over 0.8. So fantastic numbers there, and he just displays an unbelievable set of skills. But now let's get to Quinton Byfield. Byfield, as you can see, has played a couple years now between the OJHL and the OHL itself. But in the past 2 years in the OHL, Byfield, the 6'4", 215-pound left-hand centerman, has been amazing, skyrocketing through prospect rankings throughout the past couple years. Even though he's steadily a top 5 for a while, he's really reassuring himself as easily being a top 2, if not top 3 pick. And in the OHL back in 2018-2019, Byfield had only 61 points in 64 games, but this past season he was lights out. He had 82 points in 45 games for the Sudbury Wolves, including 32 goals and 50 assists. Amazing numbers there, and Byfield, using his big body to his advantage, really what separates him from the rest is how fast he is as a big-bodied centerman. He is not slow by any means. He's one of the speediest guys you will see in this year's draft, and really shows how important he is for a team, whoever acquires him, given the fact that he has the size and he has the speed, which is a rare commodity in today's NHL, especially when you have those two factors going in as a centerman. That is something great to have, because normally it seems like it's one or the other. So having a guy of Byfield's size and speed is truly remarkable. But when we get into player advantages, there's a couple things that come to mind. You, of course, have to think about speed, acceleration, agility, IQ, shot, strength, hands, puck control, defense, so on and so forth. But when it comes to these two players, this is in my mind the most realistic of who has the advantage in these categories. Starting off with Stutzle, when it comes to his acceleration, he's one of the most explosive players in this year's draft and can really take that next step after his normal overall speed. Once he's really entering the offensive zone, say if he's on an odd man rush, a breakaway, whatever it may be, his acceleration is superb. His agility is one of the best in going into this NHL draft class as well. He is so nimble with the puck and can really evade any defenseman coming his way because of how agile he is. But his hockey IQ is also unbelievably superb. This was very difficult to pick between the two, between him and Byfield, but I had to go with IQ just in favor of Stutzle, as his overall vision is superb, but I will give a hats off to Byfield as well, because his passing, playmaking ability, vision is just as good. I think they're neck and neck, but if I had to give an edge, I'm giving it to Stutzle. But then when it comes to Stutzle's hands, just from the highlight you saw in this video and watch plenty of others, he has silky mitts, some of the best mitts in this NHL draft class as well. Shows amazing hands and explosiveness. Like I said, reminds me of Lucas Raymond in that sense, with just the amount of things that these guys can do in the offensive zone are so creative and can make so many offensive situations happen, whether he makes a slick backhand pass, a no look, or he just does something very creative that you normally wouldn't see on a game-by-game basis. And his puck control, this may surprise you the most, but when it comes to Quinton Byfield, as big of a guy as he is, he does get knocked off the puck fairly easily, or at least the puck gets off his stick quicker than you would imagine. When it comes to Stutzle, as long as he currently has the puck, if he's gained in a stick mess, he's easily to come out victorious in that situation. If you have him in the offensive zone, for example, behind the net or in the dot, try and make things happen with, say, two defensemen on him, he's so easy to get around them and keep this puck on his stick at all times, whereas Byfield is great man-to-man, but he does get the puck taken away from him at times, which is somewhat surprising given his overall strength on the puck. But now let's get to Byfield. When it comes to his overall speed, yes, he does have the advantage even at 6'4", 6'5", I should say, with Stutzle only being 6'1". That is remarkable, but he just displays an explosive amount of speed. As a Rangers fan, it reminds me of Chris Kreider in that sense, how he's just able to take that next step, whether he's taking along the boards in or just straight shooting it right down the lane. He can really do it all. But then you get to his strength. This is easy. Obviously, it's Byfield being a 6'5", 215+ pound centerman, and he will, of course, continue to grow a little bit more. He is a monster and gets compared to the likes of Guinea, Malkin, plenty, and I understand it just in his size and strength in itself. But then you get to his shot, and his shot is superior to Stutzle. Stutzle has a strong shot, but he doesn't have nearly as much strength behind it in the accuracy. Stutzle can pick those corners, but he's so flashy with his playmaking ability. When it comes to Byfield, he really knows how to slow down the game and take his shot when needed, whether he's bringing up the rush, slowing it down on, say, the power play, whatever it may be. He has a lethal shot, a wrister, a slapper, whatever it is going to be. He has one of the best shots in this entire draft class. But then when you get to overall defense, his two-way game, I have to give it a Byfield here. He's one of the better two-way centermen, two-way forwards in this entire draft class. And while Stutzle isn't terrible in his own zone by any means, along with that and him just bulking up and building some strength, I think those are some of the biggest factors for him going forward into his NHL career, whereas Byfield already has a decent, if not superior, defensive play. But the question still lies, what is more important for this LA Kings team that, of course, has an amazing prospect pool as it is and has plenty of depth in the center position? Would they go with a guy like Quinton Byfield, who they know can almost ultimately make the lineup right away next year, or maybe have another year in junior or play in the AHL? I doubt the AHL, but still, I think he would be a great fit for the LA Kings. Would remind me plenty of the LA Kings runs that they had back in 2012 and 2014, being such a mean and big body team, you know, having the likes of Jeff Carter, Anze Kopitar, etc. This will be no different with adding Byfield in the mix, but with elite skating ability and a superb shot and overall hockey IQ. But is that what the LA Kings want to do nowadays, or do they want to go the route of, say, a Tim Stutzle, where he can also play the left wing for guys, whether he's on the wing of guys like Alex Turcotte, who will ultimately be with the Kings sooner rather than later, Gabriel Velarde, who's already on the team, whoever it may be. So that's the biggest question mark I have, and this is what I want you to answer in the comments below. If you're a Kings fan or a hockey fan overall, who do you think is the best between these two players, and who do you think is most deserving of being drafted by the Kings, seeing it as the best fit situation? Now, in my personal opinion, it is really hard to go against Byfield given the fact that he has been in the high ranks assuming going around top 2, top 3 for over a year plus now, versus Stutzle really didn't burst on the scene until this past year, where Byfield at least had more of a track record of familiarity with the prospects and the scouts, whatever it may be. So it makes it very difficult for me. Byfield, in my mind, looks like a very strong fit for the LA Kings, but I understand if the Kings want some more pure skill and more talent potential behind that, then you go with a guy like Stutzle, because Stutzle has plenty more growing to do and very well could hit a higher peak than Byfield can, given how good Byfield is already. But I'm really up in the air about it. It's really tough. If I think they're going more on positioning, then I think they go with a guy like Stutzle, knowing that they can throw him on the wing and don't have to be dependent with him at the center position. But that's just my personal opinion. I think either way, the LA Kings are in great hands. So if you are a fan of the Kings or any other team in the NHL, it doesn't matter. Let me know in the comments below, who do you think is a better player? What are your thoughts on this video too? Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this kind of hockey content. Thank you all so much again. It really means a lot to me. And check out my previous videos, including my most recent mock draft video. You'll probably like that if you like this one. But thank you all again, guys. Comment down below who you think should go second overall, who is the better player, and I'll be back very, very soon.